India developed a payment system that revolutionized how digital payments work, making instant money transfers frictionless and accessible to over 1 billion people. UPI stands for Unified Payments Interface and was launched in 2016 as a groundbreaking payment infrastructure that solved fundamental problems in digital payments. The system is so elegant and effective that governments and financial institutions worldwide are studying it, copying it, and implementing similar systems in their own countries. Singapore, France, the United Arab Emirates, and dozens of other countries are now building payment systems based on India's UPI model, recognizing it as superior to their existing payment infrastructure. Today, we're exploring how India developed UPI, why it's so revolutionary, and why the world's wealthiest nations are copying India's payment innovation. This is the complete story of UPI and how India became a global leader in financial technology innovation. Before UPI, digital payments in most countries were fragmented and complicated, with multiple payment systems that didn't communicate with each other. In the United States, people used credit cards, bank transfers, PayPal, Venmo, Square Cash, and dozens of other payment apps that each required separate setup. In Europe, bank transfers were slow, sometimes taking days to complete, and international transfers were even more complicated. In developing countries, digital payments were barely available, with most people conducting all transactions in cash. India faced similar problems with a population of 1.4 billion people and a fragmented payment system that made digital transactions difficult. The Indian government recognized that improving payment infrastructure was critical to the country's economic development and financial inclusion. In 2016, India's central bank and the government developed UPI as a unified payment standard that all banks and payment providers would use. UPI was designed with a radical simplification. Instead of needing account numbers, routing numbers, and complex details, users needed only a mobile phone number. Users could send money to anyone else in India simply by knowing their mobile phone number, making payments as easy as sending a text message. UPI transactions were instant, settling in seconds rather than hours or days like traditional bank transfers. UPI transactions were free or nearly free, eliminating the fees that made small payments economically inefficient in other countries. UPI could be used on any smartphone, including basic feature phones, making it accessible to people without expensive devices. The system was open and standardized so any bank or payment provider could participate, creating competition and innovation. UPI became wildly popular in India because it solved real problems. It was simple, fast, free, and accessible to everyone. By 2020, India had over 100 million UPI transactions per day, the highest of any country in the world. By 2024, India was processing over 500 million UPI transactions per day, making it the payment system with highest transaction volume globally. The success of UPI in India demonstrated that there was a better way to build payment systems than the complicated, fragmented approaches used in developed countries. Governments and financial institutions worldwide began studying UPI to understand how it achieved such success at such massive scale. They realized that UPI's design principles could be applied to their own payment systems, potentially revolutionizing how payments work in their countries. This moment is crucial because it shows how innovation can come from developing countries and be adopted by developed countries. If you're watching this and you're thinking about how important it is to recognize that innovation can come from anywhere, not just wealthy Western countries, like this video to show that global innovation matters. And subscribe because we're exploring how developing countries are leading technology innovation globally. Singapore began developing its own version of UPI called Fast and Secure Transfers based on India's model. Fast adopted UPI's core principles: instant transfers, low cost, accessibility, and interoperability between banks. Singapore implemented Fast and discovered that it increased digital payment adoption and improved financial inclusion. France developed its own UPI-based system called UPI France, designed to modernize France's legacy payment infrastructure. France recognized that its existing payment systems were slower and more complicated than UPI, putting French consumers and businesses at disadvantage. The UAE developed its own UPI equivalent called AANI Automated Clearinghouse, adopting India's principles for instant low-cost payments. The UAE aimed to position itself as a regional financial technology leader by implementing cutting-edge payment infrastructure. Multiple other countries including Brazil, Thailand, Indonesia, and Philippines are developing UPI-like systems based on India's model. Each country recognized that India had discovered a superior payment infrastructure design that could be adapted to their specific needs. The principles that made UPI successful are being replicated globally: instant settlement, low cost, accessibility, and interoperability. UPI's success reveals important lessons about financial technology, innovation, and how systems should be designed for maximum benefit. First principle: simplicity beats complexity. UPI's mobile phone number payment is simpler than account numbers and routing codes. Second principle: speed matters. Instant settlements are better than transactions that take days to complete. Third principle: accessibility is critical. Payment systems must work on basic smartphones, not just expensive devices. Fourth principle, low cost enables usage. When payments are free or nearly free, people use them for transactions that were previously impractical. Fifth principle, interoperability creates value. When all banks participate in one system, users have maximum flexibility. Sixth principle, government leadership can drive innovation. India's government and central bank created the conditions for UPI's success. These principles contrast sharply with payment systems in developed countries, which often prioritize bank profits over user benefit. In the United States, credit card companies charge merchants 2 to 3% fees on each transaction, creating profit at the expense of consumer and merchant benefit. In Europe, bank transfers sometimes take days because banks benefit from holding customer money temporarily. International transfers are complicated and expensive because the system is designed to create fees and profit for intermediaries. India's UPI proved that payment systems could be designed to benefit users first, with profit following as a result of efficiency and scale. This user-first approach has become a model that other countries are copying in recognition that consumer benefit drives adoption and economic value. The global adoption of UPI principles signals a shift in financial technology leadership from Western institutions to Indian innovators. For a century, financial innovation was dominated by American and European banks and institutions, but UPI represents a fundamental innovation that originated in a developing country and is being adopted globally by developed countries. This reversal signals that financial technology innovation is no longer the exclusive domain of wealthy Western nations. Developing countries with large populations and digital-first mindsets are now leading financial technology innovation. India's leadership in UPI is also enabling other innovations in financial technology that are spreading globally. India's fintech ecosystem is now producing other innovations in digital lending, investment platforms, and insurance technology. Indian fintech companies are expanding globally and competing with Silicon Valley and European fintech companies. This represents a fundamental shift in where global financial technology innovation originates and who leads the industry. So here's my question for you. Will the success of UPI inspire other developing countries to innovate in different sectors? Can innovation leadership shift from developed countries to developing countries in other technology sectors? What responsibility do countries with successful innovations have to share those innovations with the rest of the world? Let me know your thoughts in the comments about innovation, financial technology, and where the next breakthroughs will come from. Like this video if you're impressed by India's innovation in payment technology and believe developing countries can lead global innovation. Subscribe to this channel because we're tracking how innovation is shifting globally and which countries will lead technological progress. Because the truth is this, the best innovations come from solving real problems for real people. And developing countries have massive real problems that drive innovation. India's UPI proves that constraints and problems can be sources of innovation when approached with intelligence and creativity. Understanding this shift helps you see that the future of technology leadership will be more distributed across countries and regions. The global adoption of India's UPI represents a revolution in how payment systems will work worldwide for decades to come.